What's up, YouTube? Um, this video is on co-parenting. I wanted to talk about, um, real good, healthy co-parenting for the children's sake and the best needs of the children or the child. I say child just in case you have one, and I say children just in case you have more than one. Okay, so first, I wanted to say too that when having children, it's best that the children have two parents in the household, to have that balance. Um, and okay, so but if you end up having a co-parent, that means that you decided, or both of you decided, that you're not going to work it out, and and then a separation happens. When that happens, both parents need to be mature about it, and be able to communicate with each other for the best needs of the child. Now, I said the child, not for yourself, and we'll probably get into that, okay? So, both parties, both parents need to be able to work together um, for the best interests of the child. Like the discipline, both parties need to be on the same page about how the child or the children are going to be disciplined, and make sure you're on the same page of that, to make sure nobody gets harmed or hurt or anything of that nature. Um, and and if it's a new partner, or new spouse or friend that you're seeing, or if it's getting serious, that both of that parent that's not in the household, they both of them need to be able to communicate. Both of them need to be on the same page, and the discipline, and following rules in the house, for no one can be disrespected in any type of way, because you don't want anybody to be like if you have a spouse, and that's the step parent, or stepmom, if they tell them to do something, every little thing they run back and tell the other parent, and that's not going to be healthy. That's not going to be real effective, like, communication between both of them, because it's only going to cause tension, and it's going to lead to more disrespect. So you don't want to do that. Just make sure both adults are on the same page, and if something do occur or happen and stuff, then both adults could come together and stuff, to meet the need of that child. Okay. Um, I know I've been through a lot and stuff with my relationship that I was in, but it's better. Not that I chose that. Like, I know some people probably choose to be in toxic relationships, but it's something that happened, not something that I was seeking for. You know what I'm saying? You know how you have drama and all this stuff, and some people like stuff like that, and you have some people that like it peaceful. and I like it peaceful. And when having children, it should be that type of environment anyway. It shouldn't be, all this yelling and screaming and arguing and stuff like that. Um, okay, so that's the good parenting uh, skills right there. Being able to communicate with each other, being able to be on the same page, the discipline, going to school, making sure they're going to school, making sure their needs are met, like school supplies, clothing, whatever is needed. Make sure that you two can communicate that. Um, um, where it's no issues, okay? Um, and you have some people that can do that, that will be able to communicate effectively for the sake of the children. Okay, so with that being said, this is the difficult co-parenting, okay? So you have the good and you have the bad, okay? So I feel that I think that only how is um, will end up being bad co-parenting if someone is clearly not over you. That's a given fact right there. If someone is clearly not over you, um, and some when someone's not over you, they would try to cause hell in your life, uh calling you back to back, maybe trying to turn the children against you. What else? Then it'll be verbal abuse. um um because I mean, it's sometimes it's like that. Some people don't want to let you go, and they might not want someone else to have you, so they're going to try to cause problems and stuff in your life, and that should not be going on. Period. Even with children involved, because you don't want the child or the children to get hurt from all that going back and forth and all that nonsense. Okay. Um, like I had, I was at a grocery store one time. This happened years ago. I was at the grocery store and we was having, the person I was with at that time, we was having problems, and um, uh, he happened to be at the grocery store. And as soon as I turned and reached down to pick up something off the shelf, he took our baby and ran with our baby, and I'm running behind him trying to chase him and stuff to get my child back. And it was just a hot mess, and I had my other child with me, we both running, and I was yelling, call the police, call the police. But just in case if anybody don't know that, the police is they don't get into custody battles or custody issues. They don't do that. They leave that up to the court. So keep that in mind too. That if it's any issues or anything going on with the child, the court does not get involved with stuff like that. Okay, that has to be handled with the court system. And if something happens or occurs and stuff, you have to just pull out your paper and stuff and show that you have custody of the child and stuff, and then the officers will recognize that. Um, and then I had an issue with someone ran off completely with my child, and I thought that only happens with to males, to the guys, that women only run off with the children and try to keep the child and stuff away from them. And but no, it happened to me, and I'm a woman, so it could happen to anyone. So that's not and then then you probably have, like, if they're calling to talk to the child, they might be telling the child things to sow discord in the relationship with the other parent. So you have to be careful with that. So if you get to that point where it's crazy, where it's crazy and unbearable, then that's when the court comes in place. That's when child support comes in place. See, you have to handle things accordingly. So if you can't be on the same page and have effective communication for the child or for the children's sake, then that's when a third party comes in. That's when the court system for the custody. I mean, or sometimes you just want to just make sure you have custody of your child, because I know I did that. Um, uh, we went to the court just to do the custody thing, and it wasn't any issues and stuff like that. But I wanted to say too, like, if you with someone and you decide to separate and that person's not over you, don't be so harsh to them. I mean, just take your time. Um, just try to be understandable with that person's going through, and if they're not over you, then just be considerate of that person's feelings, and not saying let your guard down, because, like, if it's over, you already tried everything that you could do. Just be patient with them and stuff, like, say for instance, like, if they're not over you and they're calling back to back, they calling you back to back, and sometimes they try to use the children as an excuse to get close to you or be around you and be able to talk to you or hear your voice or whatever it may be. um and they keep calling back to back and saying bad words and stuff to you, calling you out your name and stuff like that. Just block them and give the person some time to calm down. And then after they calm down and stuff, then you can unblock them and give them another chance. And if they start up again, then you just block them again and stuff. And then if they start up again, then you just block them again. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You just got to work with that person if they're going through that. And sometimes they probably bring up, you didn't give me a chance. We could have worked it out. You didn't try and stuff, try to make you feel guilty for ending a relationship when you tried several times. And some people are better off friends and not lovers, you know? So, just work with them. Let me take a sip of my drink. Smart water. Okay, so yeah, so just give them some time to, get over you. Don't be so harsh and so mean. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you yelling, do you get the point? Do you get the point? It's over. It's over. It's just over. Okay, you know it's over. You know you're not going to give the person another chance and stuff. So, just be patient with them and stuff, and then they'll find somebody else and move on, and that's that. And life is good. Okay, and then you just have to communicate for the children's sake. Okay, so, and then it'd be a done deal. Um, so like, yeah, so after if you can't work things out and you have to end up getting child support because they're not helping you voluntarily, because that's something that you should not have to ask for. They should automatically do it. So, and then you find yourself where this is just for some people. If you have to, if you have to end up like receiving assistance or help, from the government, don't feel bad that you have to end up doing that. I wanted to say too, if you do end up having to turn to something like that, remember it's just temporarily. It's supposed to be temporarily. It's not supposed to be permanent. It's supposed to be temporarily, and you're supposed to be working on yourself to better yourself and to better your family. So whatever you have to do that to better your life and for the sake of your child and for your children, you do whatever you need to do to make that happen. Okay? And don't ever let anybody make you feel bad because you have to turn to that, okay? Because that's what it's there for when you're in your relationship with the other person didn't work out, and that's not something that everyone really planned for, something like that to not work out. And if you wasn't to the point where you're financially stable or stable period because the other person wasn't doing their part, so, and then you find yourself where you have to turn to that, then don't feel bad. It's just temporarily. It's only there for to help, for you to get on your feet. It's just a stepping stone, okay? So remember that it's not to prolong it in something permanent, okay? Yeah, and the last thing is just be mature about it, and realize if something is not working out and it's a lot of bickering, fighting, yelling, screaming, all that stuff carrying on. It's not healthy for the child to be around stuff like that. And don't feel bad if you have to end a relationship because of that, because you don't want your children to grow up or your child thinking that it's okay to be in a toxic relationship. Okay? Because then they would think that that's how relationships are. Children should be able to see how a man loves on his wife and how the dad loves the mom and takes care of the family, and how the mom loves the dad and takes care of daddy, and make sure daddy is happy as well as mommy is happy, and then everybody else is happy too. Okay, everybody else and the children in a happy home. Okay, so it can still be a happy home whether you have to separate. Just make sure everyone is on the same page for the children's sake, for your child's sake, and Then we would raise and bring up really good, healthy children. And that's what we want to do. That's what we want in society. Really healthy children. And, we want them to be successful in life. Okay? All right. And that's the end of that one. Catch you on the next video.